sorry, right down on the floor for this. And because it's an absolute mess, that's Emmett Brown. They need to find a new home. I can find very little about these comics. It's still sealed. Why did I even buy it? And the final box. Oh hi, I've been talking a lot recently about collecting and hoarding. Thought today we'll come up into my office room and have a look what sort of things I've been hoarding and keeping hold of for very little reason. I know I've used the term hoarding a lot. If you think hoarding, you might think of the TV shows that have shown families that live in houses that are practically overflowing with all sorts of crap. The definition of hoarding is to accumulate something and to hide it or store it away with that thing in mind that you may use it in the future. My hoarding is not to the ridiculous level. It does feel like I'm keeping hold of too much. As usual with hoards, it's generally things that I see value in. Not a lot of other people would. I'm going to have a look through at what sort of things I've been hoarding and take you guys along for the ride. So we're in my office room where a lot of my collection or my hoard is actually kept. So we're going to start in the back corner. Obviously I've got all my Blu Rays down the side here, but there's other things hidden away. The first one, straight in this back corner, this case. You may have already guessed what's in here. I know I've featured them in videos in the past. We're going to take a look through and discuss why. Oh, sorry, right down on the floor for this. But I've been hoarding Laserdiscs. That's right, Laserdiscs. I've not even got a player, but I've kept hold of them. I love the artwork. Look how fantastic Big Trouble in Little China looks. Tremors. There's all sorts here. And I've kept a bunch, even overflowing from the actual case that I've kept them in. Look at that. Beautiful. I've got loads of the Laserdiscs. Just hidden away, doing nothing. I'm not sure why. My original plan for these Laserdiscs was to frame them and use them as artwork for the walls. And they do look fantastic, but I've just never gotten around to actually putting them on the wall or having the right space for them. So is there a need to keep all of these Laserdiscs? I would like to keep some to use. I don't think I quite need the number that I still have boxed up here. Keep the ones that I truly want to display. And of course, if you've seen my other videos, you've seen that I've unearthed a large DVD collection that I've been hoarding in the attic space. Now these DVDs have not been touched probably for many years. I have boxes. All of these DVDs, they're easily found on streaming services or upgradable onto Blu Ray with better and better editions. So there just doesn't seem any value in keeping hold of these. And you can see with this one, cost me £2, sat in the collection for years, it's still sealed. Why did I even buy it? Then as we move on from the boxes of DVDs, we have a collection of books. Obviously mostly movie related. I think there are potentially far too many books for the little unit that I've got up here in the office, so I think a lot of them can be housed elsewhere in the house. I need to take those numbers down, give it some more space and some room to breathe. Well, as we're moving on from the books, I've discovered there's a bag of DVDs. Even more to add to the pile. Now, you've got to agree that this DVD problem is a problem. Look at all these DVDs. It's going to be fun scanning these for CEX. I have another box up here. Now this box has got quite a number of comics in there and other gubbins. I have a Back to the Future sticker album still. If we flick through it, it's incomplete. Why have I kept hold of this? There might be a slight nostalgia, but it's incomplete. I'm not going to be able to complete it. I don't know anywhere where I could get these stickers again. But this is years old. Look at the pricing. You can see it there. 25p. I might as well go. Comics, I've been tempted to try and sell somehow, but I've really no idea of the worth of any of these things. Lots of Spider-Man and his amazing friends. I can find very little about these comics online. If you know anything about them, if you can let me know in the comments where I need to go. I don't know if they're worth trying to sell. I don't know if they're worth keeping hold of. I want them out of my way. I want the space back. we've got some X-Men, we've got some Captain America, randomly some Bluntman and Chronic, which really should sit with my Kevin Smith collection. Got some Buffy. There's all sorts in the box, and it all really needs to go. Now, I'm not sure I want to spin the camera around and show you this corner because it's an absolute mess. This corner is from the movies that I've been showing in some of my other videos. I've not actually yet put them all away, and it's a mixture of the things that I've been using for my videos, a mixture of things for eBay. I'll show you what I'm dealing with anyway because that's what the video's about. Let's go. My corner of chaos to be checked through, and it's just a bloody mess and it needs sorting out. As we move on though, got a big pile of empty Blu Ray and DVD cases because I sleeved a few of them up the other week, and these are the cases that need to be gone somewhere else or put into storage. Gone, hopefully. I want them out of the way. But then there's also this other crate just here, which I'll try and explain to you what's in there, but we'll be keeping hold of that one. So, this crate of crap, let's see what's in there, why I need to keep hold of it. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you may have heard me mention that I've done some acting work. In this box, I have a bunch of prints stored for when I do signings at Comic-Cons. So this holds, crunch, various prints from the movies that I've worked on in the past so that we can use them for signings. So that's a crate that I've got to find a home for and keep. This is a picture that I use on the desk at Comic-Cons, which is when I worked on Prometheus. You can possibly see me just there in the engineer's chair. That was a great gig. Then at the top of my office room stairs, we have more things that is kind of stored and boxed, which are just here. Obviously I've got my PS4, I've not quite upgraded to the PS5 yet. Only a handful of games. I've not done as bad for hoarding games as I have for movies. But I have several boxes. We're going to start with this green one right here. So this little green box, it's full of, can you guess? DVDs. These DVDs are slightly different. Let's grab a bunch and show you why. They were all once given away for free on weekend newspapers in the UK. Now they did this probably 15 plus years ago where they were giving a DVD away each week. The quality of the movies did vary between them, but each week I'd buy a newspaper, I'd get a free movie, and I'd store them. This has been in my collection for years and years and years, and to be quite honest, I can't remember ever actually watching one of them. They need to find a new home. In the next box, retro gaming, we have a SNES Mini, which has perhaps been used once since I picked it up. And the final box, we have more retro gaming goodness, and some of it boxed. So I have Mario games, quite clearly you probably know what's under here. We have the N64, the Rumble Pack, the expansion pack, and a handful of games with it. With the retro gaming, I'm not sure why I keep hold of these consoles, to be fair. It brings a hell of a lot of nostalgia, but when I plug in and try to play these games, 5 minutes and I've had enough. I want to go back to being Kratos or Nathan Drake or even Lara Croft. The retro games are great for nostalgia and I love seeing them, but playing them, it's just not for me anymore. The N64, I'm finding it particularly difficult to let go of because I've had that since it was first released. I can't remember the last time I played it. I bet it's 15 years ago, so to sit in a box, what's its purpose being here? I think if I can find the right place to trade that in, it might have to be moved on as well. Why keep storing it? This white one, I think this is more to do with the kids, even though I think I'm going to steal these away at some point when they're older. It's full of Playmobil. Not any Playmobil though. This is the Back to the Future Playmobil. Dr. Emmett Brown. Anyway, that's kind of the kids' stuff that I will be stealing away, so that gets kept. The final box, and perhaps my favourite. This box right here is what my dreams are made of. Yeah, true. I've been a movie fan for as long as I can remember. I've always loved watching movies, and eventually I'd follow a path which led to me working on movies. So this box is my collection. Not everyone would see it the same way, but in here I have old scripts from things that I worked on, but the bulk of it is made up with call sheets. So these call sheets, they won't mean much to everyone, but it's my memories of the days working. They basically break down the whole day for which we're filming for. They'll have what actors are in, who's doing hair and makeup when, and they also have the daily script pages on there for us to use. And also some of them, this one in particular, also have the storyboards, which would detail the shots that are lined up for the day. There's really no need for me to keep these, but I do love looking back and seeing who I worked with on what day. But yeah, every TV show, every movie that I've worked on, I've always kept the call sheets. It's full of memories. I do need to take the numbers down. I do plan on using some of them, but for now, this box stays as it is, and it stays in my collection. And of course, we have the standard shelves of any collector, which are full of knickknacks, figures, DVDs, Blu Rays, you name it, it's all there. This is just one side of my collection. I've got a whole nother room that's just as packed. So it's not an exhaustive look at all the movies that I have. I have a whole other room that's full of Blu Rays. It's given you a little look at how I've been collecting and what I've been storing over the years. Now I've kind of documented it, I feel like I can perhaps let some of it go. So the next task will be to get on with clearing some of this out and continuing with my challenge of quitting physical media completely for 30 days. You can check that video out in the link just here. Does anyone else collect in this way? Anyone even have any of those DVDs that came free with the newspapers at one time? I'm interested to hear your thoughts and your way of collecting.